well, it's not shown, but the occipitalis, which is the posterior one. This is my temporalis, comes down. Then I'm going to have my orbicularis oculi around my eyes. My zygomacticus is the smilers from my cheek, zygomacticus major. My masseters to help me chew up and down. Then I have my risorius, which is the little one directly to my cheeks. The buccinator is the one deep to that, so number 79. My sucker muscle. My orbicularis oris are around my lips. Then I have the funny angle ones. So I have my depressor anguli oris, which is the one that pulls my lips at an angle. My depressor labii inferioris, which pulls my lips down. My levator labii superioris, which pulls my lips up. And then my mentalis, which wrinkles my chin.
About the angularis.
Is that the depressor anguli oris?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Then, sternocleidomastoid, my favorite. I don't know if that was on this list. And then the scalene. So we did that one this time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we have the chinny ones. So we have our digastric, which has a part here like a belly, and then part goes back to your ear. It's hard to see. Next to it would be the stylohyoid, because it goes back to my styloid process and comes forward. I have a sternohyoid, which comes up my sternum to my hyoid. Then I have a myelohyoid, which goes from my hyoid to my mouth, basically. And that should be all the head ones. You good? Yeah. I've done this before. So what's next?
Really?
Arms and
We're going
legs.
to do arms and legs.
Arms and legs. You have a preference?
Arms and legs.
Now watch someone write in, he's got that one wrong. He's a jerk. Who posts this kind of crap? I get him wrong too. Sam will always tell me I got something wrong on the internet. You got that one wrong. It's like, okay, I'm not an MD. I get an excuse. You're an MD, you don't have an excuse. Why in the world I picked the arm first? Alright, let's get some arm bones.
Whoops.
I'll get some arm bones.
Here, I'll go face
You know, really, the study's going to be if you did this, right? Went through it all and filmed each other. That would be more useful than filming me.
Any volunteers?
Again?
Doing like the
It's
PowerPoint, and you
always
just copy
easy.
what I tell you, but you don't learn anything.
Is that why you don't do PowerPoint?
Yeah, actually, it's somewhat. Plus, I think it's from the devil. That's me. One of the things that comes out with research into learning is that PowerPoint becomes part of passive. You just watch what I put on the screen. You don't actually write anything your own. Or if you write it, you copy what the instructor gives you.
Right.
Part of learning is you take what the instructor gives you and you write it yourself.
Yep.
And that makes you learn it.
In
Yeah.
your own words?
In your own words. You own it. Yeah. Your brain remembers what you write far better than what you read. Right?
That's why
But
I
one of the
write when
problems
I
with
study.
PowerPoint is
Yeah, same here.
easy,
All the time.
convenient,
I have a
lazy, so
whiteboard.
you just get used to
I'm actually
just
thinking of maybe
memorizing
painting
what I
one of
tell
my
you.
balls
actually
into the
think.
black
The only
body.
classes where I really
Except for I'd have to get a stool so I could get up high.
Like talk super fast and give like
Maybe I'll
lots
just
of
have you come
information.
over.
I was
Yeah.
recapping
Yeah.
my notes too.
Yeah, I usually do
Still
that.
bio
I
class,
either do
but
flashcards
it's
or
summer.
like lecture notes. I'll just usually
That's one of the problems is
I'll just
PowerPoint
do it on my
places for the
smaller
teacher. I just
whiteboard
download
and
it
just
from the
keep
publisher
practicing
and
and
put it on
practicing
Yeah.
and
screen.
practicing
Zero,
and writing it
I
out,
can't do anything with it.
correcting it,
The
going
problem-
back.
the problem with it, but, Again, I'm a traditionalist.
Usually
I write
helps.
on chalkboard.
Sometimes,
I think this
and then
helps
taking
me,
photos of these
just
things
because there's
really
so
helps
much
me.
and I can identify with watching it. I
What
don't
am
know.
I doing now?
My
Arms,
goodness,
right?
it's
Take it
like
home
an
with you.
archaeological site.
Yeah.
Brontosaurus.
Reference it.
All right.
Well,
Not.
yeah.
Oh,
We're going to
hold on.
start with the bone.
Scapula.
So I'm going to build a person. So I'm
Hold
gonna-
on, hold on. Wait, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Come on, Bridget.
I'm going green by using my battery renewal. All right.
Okay.
All right, so clavicle or collarbone, scapula, humerus. That's the wrong one for that arm. Radius, ulna, hand. So I'm going to go through each one. So clavicle, we have the acromion end, which is the flat end. Sternal end is the bumpy end. The conoid tubercle is that little bump which always goes back and down. So that would be a left clavicle. This, unfortunately, is a right scapula because this part's out, this is down, this is back, so it should fit just like that. So if we go through our scapula, I have the glenoid cavity where my arm goes. The acromion is the corner. Coracoid is the bird. Then I have my spine. So my supraspinous fossa is the groove above it. Infraspinous spinous fossa is underneath it. The notch is there. And the subscapular is the inside part. Then that's going to be a humerus, which unfortunately is the wrong side. Again, this is a left humerus, because this is the head that goes in, this is the front. So this is my head. Then I'm going to have my deltoid tuberosity is a little bump on the corner. Down here I have my epicondyle, so this would be medial, inside, lateral, outside. This one becomes the trochlea. This one becomes the capitulum because it's round. This is where the radius goes. This is where the ulna goes. So then if I name the holes, this would be the coronoid fossa, and then the radial fossa, and this is the olecranon fossa. Because these two bones...
Show us which tubercle, which is which.
Which one's which?
The greater and lesser.
Oh, greater, lesser.
Okay.
With intertubercle notch or
Okay.
groove.
Good catch.
Thank you. So this is my ulna, has the U in it. So this is the trochlear notch, the coronoid process, the olecranon process. The radial notch is the groove on the side where the radius would go, like that. And this is the styloid process. So if I put those together, this would have to be a left, because they're going to fit just like that on my left arm, because the radius is always outside thumb side. They should fit better than they do. So then, on my radius, I have the head, I have the styloid process, and the radial tuberosity, which is the big bump there, which is always like that. So now, hand time. That's going to be it's a right hand, unfortunately it's the wrong side. So we have our carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. So on our carpals, we have scaphoid, lunate, triquetral, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. Take a little piss, trapezium at the thumb. Right? That ends my arm. So we do our arm muscles. So we'll start with our deltoid here. Take off my deltoid. Now we have the scapular one, so we're going to have our supraspinatus because it's above my spine, my infraspinatus because it's below my spine, my subscapularis, which is inside my scapula. Then we have my coracobrachialis, which is this little one that goes from my coracoid down my inside of my arm. Then I have my biceps brachii with my brachialis underneath it. My triceps brachii is the flab on the bottom of my arm. Then if I go back to my back here, I have my teres group. Teres major and teres minor are kind of under the infraspinatus. My forearm, I have my brachioradialis, goes from my arm to my thumb. My pronator teres is across from that, making the V. Then I have my flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi ulnaris, extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digitorum, my extensor carpi radialis longus, and brevis. And that's my arm muscles.
Can I ask a question
Sure.
real quick? Is there one that was kind of underneath and in between on this side that
There should be a supinatus. Where's it at?
I'm referring to?
In here?
I think that one right here.
Yeah, so that one should be the supinator. That one should be the supinator. Did I get that one right? Hold on, let me check. That's the supinator. That was the supinator. So which one was that one you were looking at? This one?
Well, no, yeah, just underneath. We don't need to know
No,
those.
no.
Okay.
You okay in arms?
Let me give you a leg.
Give me a leg
have
muscle.
memory.
So, let's do some leg bones.
You have enough memory, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about memory. I have memory.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this.
It would have stopped you if you.
I was full in terms of time.
No,
Oh.
my thing ran out,
Oh,
so I
okay.
can't film anymore.
So
Okay.
we'll do our oxals. So we have our ilium, pubis in the front, ischium in the back. So I know that because I can wear it. I can also put my phone in and call people. So I have my auricular surface with the sacroiliac joint, my iliac crest, my superior anterior iliac spine, my superior inferior iliac spine, my posterior superior iliac spine, and my posterior inferior iliac spine. Then I have my pubic crest, pubic tubercle. I have my ramus. I have my ischial tuberosity. The obturator foramen is where you talk in the phone. Obturator. And then you have your acetabulum, which is where your thigh goes. Then you have your ischial spine in greater sciatic notch and lesser sciatic notch. That ends that, so that's a left. Of course, I pick a right femur. All right, or no, that's a right. It's a left. So here's my femur, head and neck, greater and lesser trochanters, intertrochantic groove. Then we have our linea aspera, the line down the back, down to the epicondyles. This is medial and lateral. These are the condyles, medial and lateral, with the intercondylar notch/groove.
Up on top, you've got two other things. You've got a line and a crest. Did you just... Yeah.
Intertrochantic line.
There's a line and a crest.
Here's a line. That's the line. Now the groove is this one. Is there another one?
Yeah, there's a
Fovea
crest.
capitis, I missed.
The crest is posterior, and the line is anterior.
Okay. Why am I not seeing
Yeah,
it all of a
that's the
sudden?
crest part that you're looking at, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so that'd be posterior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the line would be just right up there, I guess.
I know the gluteal tuberosity you won't be able to see for beans. It's this little cut right here, which I never asked. Let's do tibias. Tibia, there's a T. Let's see, intercondylar eminence, one of my favorite words. Tibial tuberosity, anterior border, or where you get kicked in the shins. Then we have our medial malleolus, because it's inside of the ankle. That makes this a left. That'd be inside.
Oh, right.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Right, it's right. Now what? Medial. Yeah, need more caffeine. So that's a right. Let's see, got all those. So that means the fibula is next, which would go on like that if this matched. Doesn't really quite match. My fibula would have a head and a lateral malleolus. It's on the lateral side. So that leads me to my foot. So my foot is the right foot. So I have my tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. So I have my talus, which is where my tibia goes. I have my calcaneus, or calcaneus. My navicular is the half moon. The cuboid is the square. Then I have my three cuneiforms. So if this is a right foot, this would be medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiforms. Then I need a leg for muscles.
So are we going to need to put things together?
I asked that one time. One quiz, I said, come up here, grab 3 arm bones, and make a left arm. I had a whole pile of bones. That took so ungodly forever, I never did it again. Just spent like 20 minutes building an arm. That just took forever.
Yeah.
So if you can pick them out like that, find me a left femur, find me a right, whatever, build me a left arm. It's a good skill.
Yeah.
So okay, we got the ellipsois, which comes down, which you can't see the rest of it, but the ellipsois comes down. This is the sartorius, crisscrossing. I have my quadriceps group on the front with my rectus femoris, vastus medialis is in here, vastus lateralis there, vastus intermedius is in there. Then my adductors are the ones on the inside. So I have my gracilis, which is in the very center, adductor longus, adductor magnus, gluteus maximus. Then I have my hamstrings. So I have my biceps femoris is on the outside, semitendinosus is here with semimembranosus underneath and a little wider here, because there's half and half. I have my tensor fasciae latae, which comes down to the IT band here. And then my lower leg, I have the gastrocnemius with the soleus deep and a little wider than. Then I have my fibularis longus, or peroneus longus. This is my extensor digitorum longus, goes to my toes. Tibialis anterior goes there. Tibialis posterior is here with the, did you have to know the flexor hallucis plantaris? I don't know if they took out those. I don't remember those being on the
We
list.
didn't have the hallucis. So
Okay, so I lost my butt. Alright. So I think that's all the leg muscles, right? Did I miss one?
And on some of the models, are they different?
The
in terms
psoas.
of like the adductor?
And they should all be the same. You can never see the middle one on any of the
Did
models.
you show the psoas?
Soleus?
Psoas.
Psoas?
Psoas.
It's up in there. You have to take out her guts to find it. The iliacus and psoas go up into your abdominal cavity, so you have to be above this. They pop out here is the iliopsoas. And the pectineus over there. Yeah.
All right.
Are you
Thank
going to
you.
do joints too?
You should know an E.
Okay. But not the scapula or
If I see those, I'll take them off the quiz. Let's do our knee.
Which one is the extensor Digitorum longus?
That's the one for your toes. So that's the one right here that goes down to the top of your toes and straightens your toes. That's the extensor Digitorum longus.
You want to sit here? Here, let me. Sorry. You
Okay.
can go ahead. Sure.
Okay,
Like on a movie set, I guess. Okay.
yeah.
So let's do our knee. So we have our patellar ligament, quadriceps tendon with our patellar ligament with the patella basically in between. I pull that down and over. Then I'm going to have my typical synovial joint. So I have my collateral ligaments on the side. So this would be medial, be lateral. Then I'm going to have my menisci, which just shows these funny looking white things here. And then I have my CLs, my cruciates. This is my anterior because it goes in front that way. My posterior is the one here and here. So it's my PCL, my ACL, menisci, collaterals. That's a knee. In a nutshell.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
So we're 100% done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it.
So that was
Okay.
just everything was gonna be.